and thank you for pressing play on this tutorial. Today we're going to be talking about prospecting by email from a business-to-business perspective. As usual, if you've seen those tutorials, this is who it's for. It's meant to be more on the beginner level side of the learning curve, shall we say. But stick around, you may learn a trick or two. And anybody that's curious about doing these things need to reach out beyond sales. This content should be very useful as well. So this is me. I'm not going to bore you with my profile again if you watched other stuff. But if you've never watched my stuff before, long time career, marketing, sales type, I've done many things, yada yada. Let's move on. So first thing, and I always try to work from the LinkedIn perspective to build my list because LinkedIn is a gold mine. It is literally a gold mine. If you want to find people that are interesting to find, that are reachable, that meet common business interests, etc., odds are they're on LinkedIn. So we're going to focus on this one. There are other tools out there, but I want to keep it simple. So first and foremost, before you go out and find people on LinkedIn, you need to be sure that you can find people on LinkedIn, and that is math. Go like, wait, what? I thought I was going to learn about email. Yeah, but humor me here. So first and foremost, we need to understand reach on LinkedIn. You've got 3 levels of contacts on LinkedIn. Your first level is those close, intimate friends that you've accepted the invitations from or you've invited that I'm really sure you know, right? Wink. Second level is their contacts, and third levels is their contacts. So the more contacts you have in your first level, everything will grow exponentially, because here's what we want to do. We want to grow exponentially that LinkedIn network, because if you grow in a linear fashion, you will see only a fraction of the people you could normally see if you get a bit more aggressive and a bit more creative with LinkedIn. So we want to go in that exponential mode so we can find people to contact. So you want to connect with salespeople, because we sales types and marketing types and etc. types that are customer facing rarely turn down the connections. And our Rolodexes, sorry, I just gave up my age here. Our contact lists are usually fairly big. So if you contact salespeople for a LinkedIn connection, odds are you're going to be growing significantly versus to somebody whose profile is less inclined to have a large list of contacts. I was going to say Rolodex again. I'm old. Recruiters and headhunters are great individuals to connect with, because they usually never turn down a connection, because they work exactly in the same mindset as we're going to explore today, of being able to reach people, obviously to find them jobs and all that stuff. And here's a first little LinkedIn hack, if you will. There's this culture of open networkers, and those individuals that are in that mindset will accept anybody's connection. The original term on LinkedIn years ago was Lion, and it's a LinkedIn open networker. And typically, as you see an example, you can see those individuals will list that in their titles. It's less prevalent than it was, let's say, 35 years ago, but there's still a fair amount of individuals supporting this tag. And Christian Mayo is one of the OGs of that mindset. And yes, an OG to compensate Rolodex. Also, there's some groups on LinkedIn you can join if you want to grow rapidly and just add people for the sake of people. Go there and join if you're interested, of course. And once you're on LinkedIn and you have enough comfort with your contact base, you can find people. So I decided that I would use the Microsoft example if I want to find someone at Microsoft. So when you search for the company and you find that magical little information people, there's a search box. And as you can see, these are all key titles or keywords or whatever you want to call them that you can put in there to find the right individuals you want to talk to. So, and this is a bit of an open kind of field, if you will. So you can actually find by geography, by title, by role, by this, by that. You can actually stack multiple search queries in there so you can really refine what you want to do. Or if you want to search LinkedIn the old-fashioned way, use the search bar. But here's the little dirty trick that you need to be aware of. There's this thing called alt filters. It really does the same thing as the previous slide showed, but in a different view, if you will. And you can see all the fields under which you can actually search for LinkedIn contacts. So there you go. It took 5 minutes, and now you know how to find people on LinkedIn which are interesting against your interest and how you can meet their interests. So now that we've got a list of individuals we wish to contact, how do we reach out? How do we find their email addresses to reach out? So the old-fashioned way never is a bad thing, right? There are some more efficient ways, but if you start at a base level, you can Google a person's email address, and you can use all the variants and all the ways to search. And the goal is to find the format. So depending on how the company's email structure is it first name dot last name at company dot TLD? That's one thing. But if you find one person, you find them all. Then actually from there, you just reconstruct everybody's email addresses and you're good to go. Now, LinkedIn profiles are also interesting. Yes, I'm here. But first thing first, sometimes their email addresses are right in the profile, and I'm one of those. I want to be reachable, so I've got my email info right there in my profile without having to dig anything. Second place you can look at is contact info, because some of us keep it up to date, and I'm not taking a dig at anybody here in particular, but out of experience, I can tell you it's one of the least well-maintained parts of a LinkedIn profile. So it's not always up to date. You're going to get some personal email addresses versus business. Please don't reach out there. It's not cool. And you can get a bit more information there. So right there, without going through loops and bells and whistles and rings of fire, you can actually find a whole lot about how to reach individuals without, breaking a sweat. And last thing I want to bring to the table is those wonderful online tools, and everybody's got their own format, from a number of free searches per month or trials or this or that, but there's call it business intelligence data sources out there that you can use and you can feed into your CRM. Now this is getting fun because depending on who you want to reach, you can find directly their full contact information on those systems. You're going to save a fortune in time, and if you don't need too many, you can stick on the free plan, but you'll find your money's worth quickly just from the number of hours you'll be able to save. Recommend you try a whole bunch, find whatever works for you, and roll with it. And in this example, this is a screenshot from my own Gmail account, and I decided to find somebody at random at Microsoft, and this is what Clearbit will show me. And of course, I blanked the person's email address just out of respect. But it can be as easy as that. And I highly recommend you investigate these tools. Find the one that works. These are 4 common ones. I don't endorse anybody, but knock yourself out. Get stuff done quicker. Now that we've done our homework and we know who we want to talk to and how to reach them by email, let's go out and do it. So on LinkedIn, and I'm bypassing email, yes, I admit, you can do personalized messages on first-time connections. And if you want to have a conversation and there's a reason why you're reaching out, please add a quick personalized short direct. More times than none, they will respond. And positively, that's actually my experience on LinkedIn. You want to have a short, personalized direct. Don't drown it. Don't do anything. Don't write for a kilometer, please. Same with direct messages. Once you're connected with individuals, you can actually reach them out like this. And you can go for InMail as well, which is the premium contact function in LinkedIn. I recommend it. Up to you to do it. It's another great way to go out and reach people. And here's my personal take. If you want to do the bot thing, depending on the business you're in, it could work. My personal take is anybody that reaches out to me via bots after connecting on LinkedIn, I just don't want to talk to them. That's just me because it's generic. It's not focused on what I need or what I do. My competitors bought me. It's just like, no. So that's my take. You do what you want. You be you. But I personally am not a fan. That's just me. Now, if we go with the old email path, subject line. What I'm going to tell you here from an email crafting perspective is from an experience perspective. I know there's a whole lot of best practices guides, and I recommend you go check them out. But one size does not fit all in this kind of activity based on who you are, what you do, who you sell to, who you service, etc. There's always some tweaking to be done. So direct, pertinent, to the point subjects. 60 characters or less, because if I'm not mistaken, 60 is that limit that mobile email clients will show. So there's a few math reasons there to do it. If you're in B2B, please avoid emojis. I can't believe I have to say that, but I have to say that. Create an action-driven tone. You're reaching out for a reason. Get the ball rolling. Make it, make something happen. And focus on their business. And some examples is if you want to reach out for either a compliance program, like they need to be on Sarbanes-Oxley, or they need to meet PCI or HIPAA or something like that, focus on what they need, what they do, what their pain points are directly in the subject line. The request for expertise example is a classic if you actually need expertise. And it's really great, especially for startups, when you need to qualify your business, or you're a product owner and you need to find individuals with experience to actually validate what you do. There's a whole bunch of things. And partnering, it's a classic line. Make sure you don't make it too salesy, icky, but I've had lots of success with partnering request type subject lines. So on body, personalize, please. Dear sir, madam, please don't. We're in 2022. Mail merges have been existing since the mid-90s. So yeah, that's personalized, that's tailor, and this is where I walk away from the usual template mindset, because depending on what you do from a sales perspective. If you're in a let's compare to fishing. Are you net fishing or are you spear fishing? If you're net fishing, yeah, it can be more generic based on who you are, what you do, what's your intent, and everything. If you're spear fishing, you want to focus and personalize. So you really want to be in what that other person at the other end needs to know, and the benefit of talking to you, because they receive a bazillion emails a day and they will hit delete faster than they can sneeze. So again, direct, short, 2-3 sentence paragraphs. 2-3 paragraphs, 2-3 sentences, no more. Just go to the point. You can make your sales pitch in person. Just get them to talk to you. Make it about them. If you watch this, if you're paying attention to this video, make it about them as a recurring thing I bring on to the table. And everything else I made as tutorials, I always make it about them, because you're interesting to you, but they're not going to meet their business objectives because of you and how great you might be and how great your company might be. Solve their problems, and it starts in the first contact. And use keywords for that will trigger reaction. Again, what's their business space? What's their pain point? Use their lingo, please. And there's nothing wrong at first contact to say something like, we've been helping organizations in your field since number of years. As an example, this organization. And you can actually hyperlink a case study, a video, or something that they can go and check. And it will bring credibility to your communication process. And always end with an action item. Would you be available for an initial conversation, say Tuesday at 2 p.m., whatever it may work for your space? End with an action item, always. Because if you leave it up to them, you'll go in the bid bucket. That's how the universe works. So again, templates, make them your own, make them your own, make them your own. Don't start from scratch. There's a bazillion online sites, and I won't tell you where because it depends on your business space and what you want to do. But there's a bazillion templates out there which you can actually start from and build something you can leverage. And again, there's multiple reasons to reach out, and there's multiple templates you can leverage. If you're in a seasonal type business, you can use that. If it's pain points, if it's vertical activities, if it's trade show related, build your own set of templates, and it's a really good investment. Now, as for automation, I'm not a big fan on first contact, again, because I like to personalize everything, and I'm more of a spear fisher than a net fisher. But again, just be careful. It's not doable. It's easy. I'm going to say Canadianism here. It's easy to trip on the blue line. If you watch hockey, you know what I mean. If not, it's easy to just do something that you'll regret down the road because it was too generic or too easy to do. And no. Personalize, make it work on a first contact. Then afterwards, on the secondary, third, or fourth, whatever email you want to send, then let's go out and automate. If you don't have a response within 4 days, then send the second email. Hi, just making sure, etc. Your email content provider and your CRM provider should have a whole bunch of templates already pre-made. Always refer to the original email information, and always end with a call to action. Now, a few items which I like to call parting wisdom, because as I said Rolodex earlier, that means I'm old, so I must be wise somehow. You also receive emails that you get prospected with. Archive them and go back and search for those, or archive those that you will really like to go back to later. A lot of really good copywriters out there do a lot of good work, and you can actually inspire yourself from what they do. So it's easy, and it's there. It's a low-hanging fruit type item. Optimize. You can do some A/B testing, see what kind of response you get with the first email for your first set of contacts and your secondary set of contacts. You set up a secondary email template and you go and watch what happens. And if one has 70% email back rates, which is amazing, and one has 2.2%, well, you know what to do. I'm exaggerating on numbers, but I want to paint the picture. Now, I can't believe I have to say this, but be honest and truthful. Don't peddle the moon. Do not oversell. Here's a really good way of viewing what I mean. People don't like to be sold. They love to buy. So if you go out and you hard sell them and you're overselling them and you're under-delivering from the get-go, your odds of closing are much lower. So be there, be truthful, be honest, and always sound friendly. I've seen some examples of automated email, secondary and tertiary emails when like, well, you didn't open my email. I am wounded. No, come on. No feely stuff. No arrogant. No this. No, just sound friendly. It's people want to deal with friendly people, not people that are going to give them an emotional reaction, because people buy from people. Make yourself likable. Make yourself available. Make yourself friendly. And with this, that's it. It's a short one. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've learned something. If there's anything I can help you with, my contact info is right there. Just drop me a line. Thanks and have a great day.